Hello, magical friends, with an extra big hi to my magical patrons, whose support makes these interview episodes possible. I wanted to make a quick note here that it's still the summer of fun, and that means having fun, making things, and sharing it all with friends. If the news is distressing, turn it off and take a wizard rock walk instead. That's something your host witch will be doing a lot of. We're all doing our part to fight fascism and transphobia, but if all you do is fight, you forget what you're fighting for, and, more importantly, you forget to take care of yourself. So go admire all the baby birds at the local park, and color a coloring page. Build up your Patronuses, people. While you make your fun plans list, here is a bit of music to keep you company. We're starting with The Pumpkin Pasties and The Tale of the Three Brothers.
One evening, three brothers were walking along when they came to a river with water so strong. But they were skilled wizards, so clever and smart. They conjured a bridge to the best of their art. But Death was watching, he was not happy. The river had captured the lives of many. Oh, he felt cheated out of these victims, so he decided that he would trick them. He said, "Congratulations, you have outsmarted me. So as a symbol of my admiration, I offer a prize to each of you three. I offer a prize to each of you three." Now the first brother, he was a fighter who wanted power and fame. So he said to Death, "Give me a wand that will do the same." So Death gave him the wand of Elder. By that night he had killed in his first duel. Then he bragged and he boasted, he shouted and he screamed that the Elder wand would rule. That night as he slept, a man crept in, someone who had heard him boast. First the thief stole the precious weapon, and then he slit the first brother's throats. Then he slit the first brother's throats. This is the tale of three brothers. Please, child, heed my warning. Don't be a fool, no, don't be a fool. Oh, you will be dead by the morning. Now the second brother, he was an arrogant man who wanted Death's humiliation increased. So he said to Death, "Give me the power to bring back to life the deceased." So Death gave him the resurrection stone. With a turn it brought back those who had died. So he resurrected a girl he had once known, a girl who had longed to be his bride. But though she was present, she was not really there. She always looked so sad. Eventually the longing, the loss and despair, it drove the second brother mad. It drove the second brother mad. This is the tale of three brothers. Please, child, heed my warning. Don't be a fool, no, don't be a fool. Oh, you will be dead by the morning. Death turned to the third and youngest brother. He said, "What do you want as your prize?" But this man wasn't fooled, and he was wiser than the others. He said, "Death, I just want a disguise." So Death gave him the invisibility cloak, although he deemed it rather unfair. No sooner had the gift exchanged hands, the third brother disappeared into thin air. Oh, Death searched for years, but he never found him until the man had reached his end. But he had lived so long and prosperously, he greeted Death as a friend. He greeted Death as a friend. This is the tale of three brothers. Please, child, heed my warning. Don't be a fool, no, don't be a fool. Oh, you will be dead by the morning. Oh, you will be dead by the morning. Oh, you will be dead by the morning.
I went into town to check it all out, to see what the new Muggle library's about. What I saw in there could not compare. Muggle books stacked up everywhere. Helpful people at the circ desk, patrons lined up, quite picturesque. Close your mouth and fix your face. This is no fantasy, everything here is free. Get thee down to your Muggle library. Checked in the OPAC just to see what I want. Some dilly next to me eating a croissant. I wandered around just browsing the shelves. This place could hire a couple house elves. Spoke with a librarian, they're hella smart. They've got brains and grit and a lot of heart. Damn, you should see this place. Close your mouth and fix your face. This is no fantasy, everything here is free. Get thee down to your Muggle library. A recording studio and manga nights. Computers, board games, just some highlights. Drag queen story hour every Tuesday. Black Lives Matter books out on display. Kids hanging out in the teen space. What a great institution. I love this place. Place. Close your mouth and fix your face. This is no fantasy, everything here is free. Get thee down to your Muggle library. They got lots of books and reading nooks. Just take a look and you'll be hooked. It's in your hood and just too good, but damn it's true and hell I'm shook. This place is sick, no politics, it's not a trick. Just take your broomstick double quick, don't be a prick. Shut up a second, hit the deck and let me get a mic check. Damn, you should see this place. Close your mouth and fix your face. This is no fantasy, everything here is free. Get thee down to your Muggle library. Damn, you gotta see this place. Close your mouth and fix your face. This is no fantasy, everything here is free. Get thee down to your Muggle library.
Quite quietly, steal a broomstick to join the road. I'm so excited to live widely. Tonight we're going into town, but not to any town. Going to Muggle Town. Found this tavern they call a pub. It smells cigarettes, sweat and rum. When we entered, all the bus turned over, but only 'cause we're wearing clothes. We don't know what it's like to be meaningless. Teach us how to play according to your rules. Tonight my father is a postman, and this time I am a stripper. So this is how it feels to be a Muggle. This place is strange, what a thing on the wall. And what's that sport with no crowd for? Look at that guy swinging all alone. Heard them calling it a saffron. What? Don't forget, we are in Muggle Town. There's something wrong with the so-called beer. You haven't tasted a whiskey, dear. I like the bad guy wearing a gun. I take the cute, come on, let's have fun. We don't know what it's like to be meaningless. Teach us how to play according to your rules. Tonight I'm driving a Thunderbird, and this time I'm a stewardess. So this is how it feels to be on my go. We left the place so drunk we could barely fly. Told John and Jim we go back to the sky. What the fuck, Lucy is ugly and hairy. Yeah, but I like him, and yours is a communist, and I'm not sure he's single. I don't care, the promise are cool. Well, that means we're still all alone. Well, if we want to have fun, we can always go back to Muggle Town. We don't know what it's like to be meaningless. Teach us how to play according to your rules. Tonight I'm a shuriken fan, and this time I'm watching Batman. So this is how it feels to be a Muggle.
That was The Tale of the Three Brothers by the Pumpkin Pasties, Muggle Library from Ariel Factor Burdoff, and The Basilisk in Your Pasta with Muggle Town. The Tale of the Three Brothers was requested by my beloved patron Jeff, who dedicates it to Celia, saying, "It's not Hogwarts without Hagrid, and it's not the Wizard Rock community without you." Now let's get to know Priori Incantatem. All right, y'all. Today I am super excited to be talking to one of our more elusive Wizard Rockers, Julie of Priori Incantatem. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
I am so excited about this. You were actually a recommendation from Irvin, who people will know as the author of Dumbledore, a couple of podcasts, the Harry Potter podcasts, and the wizard who puts together, what is it called?
Avada Kedavra?
Avada Kedavra, yes.
Yes. He also does the Dancing Death Eaters.
Yes. So he is fairly well known to us. But today I am looking forward to learning a bit more about Priori Incantatem. So why don't you tell us a bit about your history with Wizard Rock?
Sure. So Irvin is actually a huge figure in how I got into Wizard Rock. Irvin and I have been friends since before the pandemic. I feel like I've known him forever. I don't actually remember when we officially first met, but now we co-organize a Harry Potter meetup group here in the city called the New York Order of the Phoenix. I think I first got involved with the Dancing Death Eaters because he invited me to come dance, and I'm really super not a dancer, but I had a lot of fun and people were wonderful. And I stopped dancing with the Dancing Death Eaters prior to the first Avada Kedavra that I was now included in Irvin's fold for. And he asked if I would be willing to sing some stuff. He had already done some filks that he offered for me to take over and sing. And I started kind of running around with the idea in my mind and asking him, would it be okay if I wrote some of my own to do as well? And he said, of course, that's the point of all of this. And so the first time that I performed was Avada Kedavra, pre-pandemic. I don't remember the year. And I didn't even have a band name yet. I was just Irvin's friend, Julie. And so I did some filks that he wrote. And leading into that, I'm a big musical theater, Broadway nut. I actually went to arts high school for musical theater, and I love the last 5 years. And I was going through a period at that point where I was listening to a lot of Jason Robert Brown, and Still Hurting from the last 5 years was really on my mind. I was also teaching voice lessons at that point of my life. And one of my students was working through the role of Kathy from last 5 years. So I was working on the piano part for it so that I could better teach her voice lessons. And it just kind of came together to write Still Hurting, which is a filk from the point of view of George Weasley after the books have ended, thinking about Fred. And it seemed to fit really well with the last 5 years Still Hurting song. And so that's kind of how that piece came to be. But yeah, that's kind of how I first got into Wizard Rock, was all thanks to Irvin.
So you said when you started you were just performing as Julie, but you do have a band name now. How did that happen?
So during the lockdown, Irvin said, you should really record Still Hurting and submit it to Grace for the Wizard Rock sampler. And at that point, I didn't know who Grace was. I didn't know what the Wizard Rock sampler was. I just knew that I had copious amounts of time with very little to do. Just before the pandemic started, I had started getting into voiceover. And so I converted one of my closets into a recording studio. And I had it all set up. And at this point, my church gig that I was singing had gone virtual. So I was doing singing for the virtual choir every week. And I had just enough computer and recording skills to put this together. So I recorded everything and sent it in, not having any idea what I was getting into, but I needed a band name. And so Irvin and I spent a lot of time on the phone during the lockdown because there was a lot of time to be had. And we kind of spitballed ideas back and forth to each other. And I really liked the idea of Priori Incantatem because most of what I'm doing are filks. And so I liked the idea that Priori is, bringing something that was previously there. Incantatem, of course, is incantation, but I'm bringing my own spin to previously existing works. So that's how I settled on that name.
That's really beautiful, and it does seem fitting if what a lot of your music is parody.
Yeah.
What were some of the other options you were considering?
Oh, wow. I don't even remember. Probably something about Hufflepuff because I'm a Hufflepuff. Maybe like Badger Pride or something. I don't even remember. But this just kind of fell into place. And I said, yeah, I guess I could do this. Is that weird? And Irvin said, well, there's no one else with that name yet. And it ties into the fandom and directly. People immediately know what this is in reference to. And he liked the spin on it from a musical perspective of doing so much parody. So that's how that happened. I don't remember the other names though. He might remember. I should ask him. He's on an airplane right now though, so I can't reach him.
That sounds right. He's always traveling.
Yeah.
So you've performed in a variety of ways then up in New York. Do you have some fun stories to share from Avada Kedavra or other things?
So a Wizard Rock story?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Irvin and I have our meetup, the New York Order of the Phoenix, which I mentioned before. And one of the events that we do is Harry Potter karaoke. And we rent a private karaoke room down in K Town, and we go and we sing Wizard Rock. We basically sing filks and parodies. And once we run out of Wizard Rock music to do, we tend to sidestep into more Broadway and musical theater stuff. And we were singing Defying Gravity. So, of course, we had to get up on the benches. And I mean, you can't sing Defying Gravity on the floor. And we got kicked out of the karaoke room because we were standing on the furniture. Still not Wizard Rock related, but slightly more so.
So, Avada Kedavra is a little bit of a legend as far as Harry Potter events go. For those of us that haven't ever been to one, what is it like?
Vada Kedavra is so much fun. Irvin does a great job of organizing the dances that the Dancing Death Eaters do with Wizard Rockers. And so this past Avada Kedavra, I performed, the Gringotts girls performed. My mind is like a sieve today. Um, but in the past, he had the Blubbering Humdingers, I believe, came. He is really incredible at organizing so many different Wizard Rockers, both from the New York City area and further out to come. And so it's a really great mix of Wizard Rock that he's choreographed dances to for the Dancing Death Eaters, and then Wizard Rockers coming and performing live as well. There's normally pizza halfway through, which is nice because it's a very long day, but it's a really fun way to spend the afternoon with Wizard Rockers and people that just love Harry Potter.
It sounds like so much fun. I always hear wonderful things about it.
Yeah, it's really fantastic. It is a whole day commitment, but it's
Wow.
a lot of fun. It's really great.
So, my patrons were curious about your songwriting process. You know, how do you pick what you're going to parody? What's a hard part? What's an easy part? What's your favorite part?
Sometimes the songs write themselves. So often what happens is I get on a kick where I'm listening to a certain genre of music, a certain show soundtrack. I'm listening to music from the 80s, music from the 90s, and I'm really in that jam. And then all of a sudden, I think, oh, this would be really clever. This would be funny. This would be good. That's what happened for It's My Life, which is a parody that I did on Bon Jovi's It's My Life. And it's from the point of view of Voldemort. And so I was singing along as I was driving, and I was like, it's my life, it's now or never, 'cause I just want to live forever. I was like, oh, this could be Voldemort. I just want to live for all damn time. It's my life. I asked Slughorn if there was some way to extend my life all the way. My Horcruxes will keep me alive. It's my life. And I like that just kind of came to me. It was on the middle of driving on I-95, and I was listening to Bon Jovi, and I was like, this is the story of this song. And so I always try to find what is the story that I want to tell, and how does it align with the music that's already there. Because Bon Jovi does have that more gritty sound, like rah, rah, and the history of Bon Jovi as well. It wouldn't make sense to make this like a love song, right? That wouldn't work. But oftentimes I find if I look through the eyes of a character, a song can kind of just flow and write itself pretty quickly. And then I actually have to sit down with the lyrics and the music and start working on the verses. So the chorus normally writes itself, and then I try to get deeper as I'm writing the verses. So I know for It's My Life, I was sitting down and I was really proud of myself because you try to maintain the rhyme scheme of the original poetry of the song, if at all possible. And so I was like, this is for the ones who remained loyal, for Severus and Lucius and Crab and Goyle. And I was just so proud of myself for putting that one together because now I'm working in more characters and the point of view of Voldemort, because as we know, like Severus was not loyal to him. And so I think really committing to the characterization of whoever it is that you're using their voice really helps with making things come together and keeping it within the same worldview and voice, if that makes sense.
That is a brilliant set of lines. That's really fun.
Thank you. Yeah, that one's pretty great.
So is that your favorite song that you've written so far?
I don't know. That's like asking me to pick my favorite child. I think that every song has something that it's saying. Some of them are just fun. Like, I hardly had to do anything to My Heart Will Go On from the Titanic. Most of that song tracks in a wizard rock context if you just twerk it a little bit. Looking at Harry and Voldemort and their connection. Every night in my dreams, I see you, I feel you. That is how I know you live on. And sometimes like I'm not fully thrilled with how that one is. I'm going to keep not twerking, tweaking it. I'm going to keep tweaking it so that I'm more happy with how it flows together. But the base is basically right there. So, yeah, I have a lot of fun writing them, but sometimes they just come together and you're like, this is pretty perfect. Yeah. So I'd say that my two favorites right now probably are It's My Life and Still Hurting. I think that the emotional journey of Still Hurting, yeah, it might be a cheap pull at emotions because we all care so deeply about the Weasley twins, and the idea that George has to continue going on without Fred is really, it's devastating, like why couldn't Percy have died, right? Like would we have cared? I don't know. I wouldn't have written a song about Percy being dead. And I don't think that people would cry about a song where Percy dies. So it's this idea that Fred and George are two halves of one whole. And Fred was always the more extroverted of the twins. He was the forward facing twins. We always say Fred and George. We don't say George and Fred. And so the idea that George needs to find himself and figure out how to walk again, how to live again, how to enjoy life again without Fred. And I think that that's really heartbreaking. I don't personally know any twins where one has passed away and the other one still has to go on, but I think that even just thinking about fictional characters like Fred and George, there's there's an emotional journey there that I don't know that we ever really get to explore within the series themselves because it happens at the very end. And we're kind of like, oh, this is really sad. But to really delve into that and really explore where George is, I think also the fact that I was writing this during the pandemic when things were very, very sad, people were passing away left and right. I personally lost one of my best friends. And I think that this was a a time where we were more comfortable exploring those darker emotions. Um, we were more in touch with grief and mourning and loss and death, and being able to put that into a song and explore where George is coming from was both cathartic for me, but also from the feedback that I received from people. I've been told that it's the song that people go to when they just need like a good cathartic cry. That it put them into a mindset, not a mindset, but it brought them into a different view of George than they had really seen before. That we think of the twins as joking and jovial, but that they're really deep, full, rounded people. And what does the future look like for George now? And Schmutzy, my dog, is snoring away, so I
I know, I
apologize
can hear
if
it.
you
It's so
hear her.
cute. It's so cute. It's time for a music break. Have you stretched? Taken your meds? Here's a chance to do that while Bella and the Strangers serenade us with Breakout.
take lightning in my hand. The other one, lightning in my hand. I'll take lightning in my hand. Expelliarmus, Expelliarmus, Expelliarmus. I'll take lightning in my hand. Red and green stretched across the sky, like Christmas in July. And then two of them collide. People surround like the tribes of tasks. Death ears still behind their masks. The bolt of lightning splits the sky. The other ones, lightning in my hand. I'll take lightning in my hand. Expelliarmus, Expelliarmus, Expelliarmus. I'll take lightning in my hand. Then he falls like a tree, like an elegant oak. Then he falls upon the ground. I hear screams, but I can stand. I think I'm still alive. I watch the lightning flicker out. This is the moment, this is the moment, this is the moment now. When I take lightning in my hand. The other one, lightning in my hand. I'll take lightning in my hand. Expelliarmus, Expelliarmus, Expelliarmus. I'll take lightning in my hand. The other one, lightning in my hand. I'll take lightning in my hand. Expelliarmus, Expelliarmus, Expelliarmus. I'll take lightning in my hand. Expelliarmus, Expelliarmus, Expelliarmus. I'll take lightning in my hand.
There was a young boy Weasley, Ronald was his name. He lacked a bit of self-confidence, and love just wasn't his game. This is his true story, as he told it to me. He walked into the bar one day looking for a friendly ear. Sat down on that stool right there and ordered a butterbeer. He said, "Barkeep, I got a problem, and I hear you're the man to solve them. My problem is 5'8" with long brown bushy hair. I try real hard to impress her, but she don't seem to care. She thinks we're just good friends, but I think that's a load of nonsense. So help me, sir, what should I do to show her what could be? I've tried to be successful, even made the Quidditch team." He looked at me imploringly, and I poured him a fire whiskey. I told him, "Listen, lad, and listen well to what I'm telling you. You say you've known her 6 odd years, so she must care for you. She'll know you deeper than you think. Now have you got coin for that drink?" With a great big sigh, he paid with gold, and I told him these here words: "Just be yourself, you got it all. You might think it sounds absurd. If it's fate, well, I've found. Give it time and she'll come around. Your problem ain't 5'8", it's more like 6'3". Take a long, hard look at yourself, see the man that you can be. If you see yourself through others' eyes, you might just get a surprise. You're a Gryffindor, you're prefect, you're on the Quidditch team. You're start telling me, you must believe that you're worthy, just like everyone, you deserve it. He knocked back the glass and thanked me, and I wished him well that night. I watched him walk right up the street towards a ball of light, and in his chest it shone. He turned once, then he was gone. That was some time that passed when our tale began, but just last night I was visited by a tall red-headed man. It was the young boy Weasley, and he shouted me a fire whiskey. He said, "Barkeep, I gotta say thanks for what you told me then. Turns out she's always loved me just for who I am. So now we're more than friends, and well, I got my happy ending." I told him, "Son, this is just the start of a long and happy life. Now go out, make the most of it, by God, stay out of strife." He said cheers and left with a grin, and I never did see him again. We've reached the end of our story of Ronald D. Weasley, who had it all but didn't know till he kept my company. This was his true story, as you heard it from me.
That block of music started with Breakout by Bella and the Strangers, continued with Seven Potters and Lightning in My Hand, and closed out with Anvil and the Hints singing The Ballad of Ronald B. Weasley. Don't forget to refill your water as we get back to chatting with Julie of Priori Incantatem. So, we've talked about a few of your songs, but most of my listeners will have only heard one, which left my patrons wanting very badly to know, when are we getting some more Priori Incantatem recordings?
The short answer is I don't actually know, but I hope soon. I actually had no idea that there was any interest in having more recordings until this past Avada Kedavra, when I was approached by people who said, "Where's your CD? Can I buy it? Is it downloadable? Where can I hear more?" And I said, oh, wait, people actually want more? I thought that this was just kind of something fun that I recorded in my closet. And it was to me, it took place in a vacuum. And I felt very honored that I was included on the 2020 Wizard Rock Sampler, but I didn't actually expect anyone to listen other than me. So I'm actually incredibly honored that people want to hear more. Recently, I connected with someone who is helping me redo my opera acting voiceover website, and I'm going to be recording some opera stuff and musical theater stuff for that. And while I'm got the recording space and my pianist and everything, I'm hoping to also record some Priori Incantatem stuff as well. I just didn't realize that people actually were interested. So I think that that's pretty cool, and I'm going to try to make it a project I work on sooner than later.
So we should all keep an ear out.
Definitely. And I can let you know when something is actually ready so that you can let everyone know when and where to find it.
Excellent. Please do. Since you are basically at the beginning of your Wizard Rock journey, what kind of advice might you have for other people who are thinking about maybe dipping their toe into Harry Potter parodies or recording or even just songwriting for it?
My biggest advice would be just get started. That if all you are able to do right now is download a karaoke track of a pre-existing song and write a parody, write a filk, do it. Because, hey, worst case scenario, you come to my karaoke Harry Potter night with the Order of the Phoenix, and maybe we'll get kicked out of another karaoke room. But just start putting things together, just start doing it, just start recording it. And it'll feel like you're in a vacuum, because that's certainly how I feel. But before you know it, you end up on a podcast talking about Wizard Rock. So I think that it's a really cool, expressive art form and medium. I think that it's a really great way to interact with the fandom. And we get to tell new stories this way. We get to expand on stories. It's a great way to keep the characters that we love alive. And I say just do it. Sorry, that might be a terrible answer.
It's perfect, and that's the advice I get the most frequently, which is why I have a subset to this question. And I think you mentioned that you do singing lessons. So that's perfect. I like to get some concrete advice, like a vocal warm up you really enjoy, or something, tricky that newcomers to singing might not know that'll help them get over the first hurdles.
Okay. Sorry, I'm going to try not to get too in depth in this. I actually have a master's degree in vocal pedagogy, which is how to teach singing.
Dive as deep as necessary.
Cool. Step one with singing is all about connection to your breath. A lot of times, especially as adults, we are not connected at all to our breathing. And it's because when we control our breathing, we're able to control our emotions. I can't tell you how many times in a voice lesson, one of my students, even myself, we have a breakthrough moment. We're really able to connect down to our breath. And before you know it, one or both of us is just sobbing or hysterically laughing. It's very extreme, intense emotions that get unlocked by unlocking your breath, because so much of our regular daily life, we walk around holding everything in, fitting into the box that society expects us to fit into. We can't be too emotional. We have to show just enough emotion that we're human. And we are able to lock all of that down and bottle it up by not really breathing. So, my biggest advice would be to breathe. After that, make as much noise in as much different ways as you possibly can. Really get to know the range of what it is that you're working with. Sing as high as you can, sing as low as you can. Don't be afraid to access your head voice, even if it's not a very coordinated sound yet. Because most of the time, most of our speaking that we do is in what we would call a chest coordinated register. Your vocal folds are literally in a thicker, more contracted position. It gives our sound more depth, more volume. And again, talking about how we fit into society, a lot of women will actually speak lower than is natural for their voice, because having a lower, deeper voice brings us more respect within our society. And actually being able to get out of that chest voice. A lot of people who haven't sung before get stuck in a mix of chest voice trying to get into head voice. If you kind of feel like you can't break through that ceiling, it's probably because you're stuck in a mix. So one of the best exercises to do would be vocal sirens. I will often start from the top down. So I just go, "Ooh." And so you have to really start in this like heady, airy space. And so really trying to actually a really great warm up would be imitating Julia Child. "Hello everyone, how are you today?" and just really getting into this like heady space where you're speaking up here and it's very hooty and there's a lot of airflow and you might sound very airy inside of your head. And as you continue to work on that, the coordination will actually get stronger. And so if you hear people who can belt really well, but then it sounds like they have two different voices when they pop into head voice for something, it's because they haven't fully coordinated that head voice yet. So I would just kind of get used to what it all sounds like. The other thing, and this is something I actually hate, and all my teachers have always told me to do it, and I hated it, but they were all right. Record yourself and listen back. It's the hardest thing to hear yourself sing. It's the hardest thing to hear yourself speak. It's awful to watch yourself giving a presentation or whatever, but it will be the most objective form of feedback that you can receive. And when you're singing, especially, you're hearing your own voice being transmitted to your ears by bone conduction. So your skull is actually vibrating, and that's why you sound so different inside your head than outside your head. And so a lot of that airiness that you'll experience in the head voice inside of your head is actually not present outside of your head. And so it's really important to have that objective recorder that you then go back and listen to really get a firm idea of what it is, the sound that you're actually producing. So that would be where I would start. Get a good teacher. Good singing is good singing, the rest is just nuance. So if you find a teacher who specializes in opera, they're going to teach you how to sing good. If you find someone who specializes in musical theater or rock, as long as they're good singers and they can teach you how to sing well, the technique is the technique. The nuance is what brings you into the type of music and sound that you want to be having. So that would be where I would start, I guess. Sorry, was that too much?
No, that was perfect. I'd love to get as much advice as I can for listeners because there's so many people who, are curious, who like it, but don't feel equipped to dive in.
Yeah, actually, I could show you some more warm ups. The only thing is that Schmutzy sings with me.
That sounds perfect. You'll have a little student helping out.
Yeah. Okay, for real. Do you want me to, like, okay. So, another warm up that I like to do, and I apologize if my dog here starts howling along. She's a Shih Tzu. And apparently, they have a lot of wolf DNA in them, so that's why they sing along with you. So, I like to really work on the coordination between head and chest voice, like I was saying before. So I do yodels. So at first I'll go ah ooh ah ooh ah ah ooh ah ooh ah ah ooh ah ooh ah, and so you can really hear where the break is between that chest register and that head register. And then I go back and forth even faster. Ah ooh ah 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 ah. That was not in tune, but that's fine. So that's just kind of like letting the head voice be whatever it is. When you actually coordinate it with the chest voice, this is going to be like more opera-y. You go, oh, and so that is just the coordination of the head voice in like the, oh, there's Schmutzy. Yeah, good singing, girl. Yeah.
I love her so much.
It's the funniest thing. Yeah, Mush, you want to be on the podcast too? Okay, so I think she's done. She realized this was not a group activity. Whenever we warm up, we always think of going from bottom to top. It's actually better to go from top to bottom because the higher you're singing, the more stretch your vocal folds are experiencing. And as I was saying before, when we're in our speaking register, we have a lot of muscles in our larynx. And so the vocal folds themselves are the vocalis muscle, and they're used to being in a more contracted position. So when you're singing higher, what ends up happening is the two cartilages of your larynx actually tilt a bit to stretch out your vocal folds. And so you're using muscles that you don't tend to use outside of singing. And so as you're relaxing and going more into a speaking register, it's easier for your body to gain the coordination. So I'll start off like, oh, and then you go down. Oh, 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 there we go. There's Schmitzy. And so yeah, so that's my advice is always start higher and then go lower. And then you'll eventually get to a point where everything is coordinated well. The highest notes and the lowest notes all come from a strong foundation in the middle. So work on your middle voice, work on bridging that gap between head and chest, and good singing is good singing. The rest is just nuance.
I really should be bringing this back to the subject at hand, but I'm curious now. What is a head voice, chest voice? Is that like high notes, low notes?
Kind of, yeah. Okay, so it's actually the coordination and the actual positions of the vocal folds. So you'll get to a point where your vocal folds are in that contracted position where you can no longer go higher, right? So when you think about big Broadway belters, someone like Idina Menzel, Sutton Foster, they're singing in that chest space. They're belting, ah! Right? And that's, the vocal folds are thicker, they're shorter, and you're going to hit a ceiling of how high you can go. But kind of like a rubber band, if you stretch it out further, you're going to be able to get higher pitches as you like strum a rubber band. And so when your vocal folds, when your larynx tips, it oscillates a little bit and it like stretches, and it stretches out the vocal folds into a thinner position that's longer. That's when you get into this sound, the Julia Child space. Because the vocal folds are thinner, it actually takes more coordination and pressure to coordinate. It's the arytenoid cartilages. They slide back and forth across the cricoid cartilage in the back there. And they actually have muscles that make an X in between them that don't just bring the vocal folds together, but when these oblique X-shaped muscles twist, they create a firm closure between the cords so that there's no gap. And so that's actually what it is that you're training to coordinate to get a head voice that doesn't have air in it. Otherwise, you end up with like a little triangle shaped space between your vocal folds in the back. And that's what lets the extra air through. It's called the glottal chink. And so we want to try to close that to get a firm, nice, smooth, straight closure of the vocal folds. Because once that happens, the sound loses that airiness to it, and the vocal folds are actually functioning. They have like a higher level of functioning. And so your air control is going to be better. You'll be able to sing longer, higher, louder. And it allows for physics to actually do what it's doing. So sorry, not to get like too into the weeds here. But when we're singing, a physics principle called the Bernoulli effect takes over. So you can observe it in water. But I think Bernoulli was really looking at airflow. But if you think about a river that has water running through it and the river is a certain width, when the river gets more narrow, the water starts going faster through that narrowing. And that's what happens with airflow as well. So if you think about your airflow, your trachea, your vocal passage as being an open tube, when the vocal folds come in, it creates a narrowing that actually speeds up the airflow through that area and creates suction to help pull your vocal folds together to make that nice tight seal that we were talking about. And then the vocal folds vibrate, they break up the air. You have compression and rarefaction cycles of the air that your vocal folds are vibrating at, and that's how we create sound waves. And that's the physics of how we actually produce sound.
I could ask questions about this forever, but this is
Sorry, that really got off track there.
that was fully on me, and it was totally fascinating. But I'm gonna reel it back a little bit to the subject at hand, which is wizard rock, Priori Incantatem, and we've talked a little bit website, maybe album, but just to recap, to reaffirm, what are you working on now? Or I guess what are you and Schmutty working on now?
Yeah, right. So every year at Christmas time, the New York Order of the Phoenix, our meetup group, goes wizard Christmas caroling at Bryant Park. Heather Denny has written a bunch of wonderful Christmas carol parodies that we do every year. And we've discussed maybe recording a Christmas album of different Harry Potter Christmas carols. Have yourself a Harry Potter Christmas. God rest ye merry Hufflepuffs. No, wait.
Hippogriffs? It's
Hippogriffs,
usually hippogriffs.
Hippogriffs, yeah. Well, we'll see. Maybe I'll write an extra one. That'll be about Hufflepuffs. I don't know. But yeah, so that could be a lot of fun. And I'm always just thinking about what might work in terms of a Wizard Rock song, in terms of a context. I was really into the 80s and 90s music recently, but I think it'd be really cool to do an album of just Broadway musical theater stuff and then do an album of more pop stuff, and then do a Christmas album, because Christmas music is timeless. You can play it every year for like 6 weeks.
And we do.
I'm pretty sure the guy that wrote Santa Baby is only living off of royalties from Santa Baby.
And well, he should.
I met him. I auditioned for him. His name was Phil. He was very old.
That feels right.
I did not get that job.
Do you know what we could use more of? Hanukkah Wizard Rock.
Yes. Okay. I am a proud member of the tribe. And as a Jewish person, I would love some Hanukkah Wizard Rock. Also, J.K. Rowling was like, sure, there were Jews at Hogwarts, but why wasn't Harry invited to any of the bar bat mitzvahs? Okay, I want to hear Anthony Goldstein's voice cracking as he chants his Torah and Haftorah in the Great Hall with the portable Ark and Torah that they brought in. And then, a rousing game of Coke and Pepsi while the grown-ups eat their dinner at the party. I mean, where are those scenes? Just saying.
Here's our final music break, beginning with Ginny and the Weasleys and Happy Harry Birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Have a very Harry birthday from the Weasleys to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. We heard it's your birthday and we just wanted to say now we wanted to say we hope that it's special in every single way. Every way now, in every way. We wanted to give you a present to last all day through. Last all day through now, last all day through. So what better gift than a birthday song just for you? This is Joe's birthday. We hope you have a very happy birthday. This is Joe's birthday. We hope you have a very happy, very happy, happy,
I guess she believed me when I said fine. Of course, they're still arguing, and I doubt it'll ever stop. So why should I stick around? I've tried, but it just gets worse. But it won't be that long now till I'll be gone. I can almost count the hours. I can almost count the hours till I get on that train and go far away. Does it make any difference? She asked. Just because I'm muggle born, I thought, and the truth is that I know I'd gladly trade my lot, and so I took a breath and I said no. It doesn't make any difference, and it won't be that long now, so we'll be gone. I can almost count the hours. I can almost count the hours till we get on that train and go far away.
I look into my children's eyes, think about her sacrifice, and realize that I would do the same. I think about my early years, my childhood dreams and foolish fears. I realize that I would do the same. Outsider and all alone, trying just to find your home. Finally a discovery, our choices make us who we really are. And I lose myself in the pages of your story. Yes, I lose myself to the spaces in between. Oh, I lose myself searching for a happy ending. Somewhere on the journey I find me. The faces of your friends and foes, faces that I also know. I realize that I have known the same. Teachers that you love and hate, a high school dance, an awkward date. I realize that I have known the same. Outsider and all alone, trying just to find your home. Finally a discovery, our choices make us who we really are. And I lose myself myself in the pages of your story. Yes, I lose myself to the spaces in between. No, I lose myself searching for a happy ending. Somewhere on the journey I find me. And I lose myself in the pages of your story. Yes, I lose myself to the spaces in between. Oh, I lose myself searching for a happy ending. Somewhere on the journey I find me. I find me. I find me.
You just heard Jenny and the Weasleys' Happy Harry Birthday, Gone by Lauren Fairweather, and Lose Myself from the Blibbering Humdingers. So now let's hear a little bit more from Julie. Thank you so much for talking with me today. This has been amazing. Where can WCRD listeners find you and your music online?
Right now, I only have one song that's out there, and it is part of the 2020 Wizard Rock Sampler. It is Still Hurting, which is the parody that I wrote based off of the last 5 years. Yeah, so that's the main place right now, but hopefully there will be more soon.
You said you're putting together a website. Is that something people should keep an eye on?
Yeah, definitely keep an eye on it. It's going to be my opera / voiceover / acting website, but maybe I'll put a little Easter egg on there for some Harry Potter stuff as well. Yeah, I think there might have to be an Easter egg in there just for us Wizard Rockers.
What's the URL?
It is under construction. It is Julie Lauren Stevens, JuliLaurenStevens.com. And hopefully there will be something by the end of the summer, maybe.
If you heard a song today and you thought, I could listen to that again, then go to the transcript at wcrdradiopod.com, follow the link, and buy a copy of your very own. It's the best way to support your favorite musician, and without our Wizard Rockers, we wouldn't be here. If you want discounts on WCRD merch, the inside scoop on everything that's coming up, and bonus gifts and episodes, then you want WCRD Radio's Patreon at patreon.com/WCRD Radiopod. It's just $2 Muggle a month and also supports the Community Rock Fund, where we're raising funds to help Wizard Rockers achieve their musical dreams. If you want to keep up with WZRD between episodes, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at WZRD Radiopod. If you don't believe in social media, you can also comment on the transcript or email me at wzrdradiopod@gmail.com. And now, magical friends, Priori Incantatem.
So this is Still Hurting, which is a parody from the last 5 years. It's from the perspective of George Weasley after the book series have wrapped up, talking about how he needs to move on and continue living his life, even though Fred is no longer here with us. I really like this song because I think it gives us a perspective of what happens to George after the series concludes, and we get to see another side of his character besides the playful, jokey, very smart, but fun, boisterous twins. So I think that this is one of my favorite parts of Wizard Rock, is being able to explore other sides of characters that we maybe didn't get to see in the series themselves. So that's what inspired me to write this.